Watching the Game of Thrones for the first time is just a reminder of how blessed we are to live in this day and age, cause bruh, back in the day they was wildin'. Growing up in this era meant two things. Number one, your parents being at a 99% chance of being murdered or just not existing, or you being the ruler of some country or land where everybody's bowing their heads to everything you say and do. And this is how you get some spoiled ass kids.
The king is tired. See him to his chambers.
Come along.
I'm not tired.
We have so much to celebrate.
Perhaps some essence of nightshade to help him sleep.
I'm not tired!
Bro, this motherfucker is really standing on business. Joffrey hands down is gonna go down as one of the most disrespectful children to ever live.
The Blackwater's on fire.
Dog, I command you to go back out there and fight!
Imagine being a grown man, your balls hairy as hell, and you let a prepubescent child say this shit to you, bruh. It couldn't be me. And just to show you how hectic things were back in the day, nowadays, when you have talent that you want the whole entire world to see, you might go on your game shows, your America Got Talents, etc. And let's say your talent isn't up to par like you thought it was. What's the worst thing that can possibly happen? You might have some judges laughing at you, making fun of you, and you're getting laughed at in front of millions of people, but that's really about it. But if you had a lot of talents in this era and you had the world to entertain this psychotic demon child, people laughing at you is gonna be the least of your worries.
Thank you for your rendition. I imagine he was even better received at that tavern.
So, we'll never sing it again. I swear.
Tell me, which do you favor? Your fingers or your tongue?
Your Grace?
Fingers or your tongue? If you got to keep one, which would it be? Oh, I could just cut your throat.
Every man needs hands, Your Grace.
Good. Tongue it is. Sir Ilan, who better than you to carry out the sentence?
I beg you!
Just look at the fear in my man's eyes. Like, you gotta feel for him. He know what's about to happen. Why is this dude so aggressive? Like, just look at this man's face. It's just full of anger. If someone is cutting my tongue off and they are looking like this, just end me.
Your Grace, please, I beg you, I'll never sing again!
I'm done for the day.
Dog, I don't keep it 100. Was his performance some hot ass? Yes. Did you have to take this man's tongue off though? No! This was just not a good time for human civilization because you're letting countries, lands, being ruled by little kids who never went to school, never got any education. All they had to do was be born at the right place at the right time.
I think we've had enough small talk. Why are you here?
Bitch, ain't no way some little ass kid is finna sit up there and talk to me like this. Like, bro, just look at this. The fate of lands and people's lives are in jeopardy right now. And these people are having a discussion with a 10-year-old about this, bro. And it makes sense why these motherfuckers be having so much attitude. Just look at how bro talked to his mama.
It's becoming one of the most boring conversations I've ever had.
She married a traitor and known degenerate like Renly Baratheon for a reason.
She married Renly Baratheon because she was told to. That's what intelligent women do. What they're told.
Ask yourself what
I don't need to do anything.
Dog. If I were to say that same exact shit to my mama, I would be getting the Batman Joker treatment from Arkham Origins right now. But you would think that somebody would have put this little ass kid in his place by now, right? No, because they too busy glazing him, calling him Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace. And this is the result of it. Maybe beating kids isn't such a bad thing after all. This is how village threats are made, when you don't discipline your kid and you just let them do whatever the hell they want to do. And for this little motherfucker who already has all the telltale signs of a village threat, you would think getting married and having a wife would force this man to show some type of compassion. Oh boy, was I wrong to think that. This boy had this girl's father's head on a stake, then went outside and forced her to watch it with her own 2 eyes while he enjoyed it and talked about killing the rest of her family. And then not only had her slapped in the face, but then threatened to shoot her with a crossbow. And while all this is going on, this bro's parents is just doing absolutely nothing but enabling him. But it makes sense because he is a product of incest. Yay. Ain't no amount of money or ain't no amount of power gonna make me want to have sex with my sister, bro. Like, that's just not the answer. It's no wonder these 3 kids turned out the way they did. You got one that's a narcissistic, psychotic demon child, another one who offed himself just because he's just not built like that, and then you just got this.
My point is, we don't choose whom we love. It's beyond our control. I sound like an idiot.
Yes, you do. No, he does.
What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying and failing to say.
What you're trying to say.
No, I'm afraid you don't.
I know. About you and Mother. I think a part of me always knew. And I'm glad.
You're what?
I'm glad.
Shame, 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 shame.
And if fucking your own sibling wasn't bad enough, then just imagine having to travel anywhere in these lands, bro. And you better hope that you got a horse on you, because if you don't, be prepared to walk through the hot ass heat in the freezing cold for miles and miles and miles. Like, bro, somebody asked me, hey, yo, you want to go over so-and-so house? Yeah, how far is there? A couple miles? A couple miles? Fuck no. As soon as I hear a couple miles, I'm not going over there. Unless my horse is getting me over there or you're coming to me, I ain't going anywhere that's more than 1 mile. But it's crazy how we really take our transportation nowadays for granted, because the places that we go to across country and across states that take hours to get to, bro, back in the day, it would take these motherfuckers months to get from point A to point B. By the time I even get halfway there, I don't even want to be there no more. And if you're anything like me, I already struggle enough having GPSs and street signs, but just imagine having nothing but the sun and grass as your compass. There's no place on earth that I'm willing to stick it out for over a month in a ship with all these other dudes around me. Like, no, it's just not happening. And this branches to another con of this era, the lack of healthcare. You get into one fight with these dudes and you get a scratch or scar on you, it's over for you. You are at a high chance risk of death. And let's just say by some miracle, you just have a chance at life. You're gonna have some crazy witch person doing blood sacrifices and killing innocent animals, all in the name of healthcare. Like, bro, if an animal or anything in general has to die for me to live, bro, like, just let me pass away peacefully, please. And that leads me to the crazy ass tradition and beliefs that people held back in the day.
Tell the good master, there is no need.
Jesus, leave us. Cara odretta.
Why did he have to slice this man's nipple off? He didn't do anything to deserve this. This is just completely unnecessary. But if that wasn't crazy enough, you got motherfuckers impregnating their own daughters. Like, this shit is just normal. Multiple times, mind you.
This is Arwayan, my daughter Walda, my daughter Derwa, my daughter Walda. My eldest granddaughters, Jania and Nahila, Sarah and Sarah, granddaughters, twins. You could have had either. Could have had both for all I care.
Like, bro, I really feel bad for some of these daughters, man. Like, they coming out looking like Merge Zamasu out here just because they father was on some freak ass shit, man. I thought Alabama was bad, but bro, this right here, Alabama ain't got shit on this.
I'm heading that way. I can take you there.
I bet you can.
You've been at sea long? Or were there just no women where you came from?
Unlike you.
You don't know what I'm like.
You don't know what you're like. Maybe you need someone to teach you.
Ain't gonna lie, bro, really applying that pressure.
Don't you worry about my hands.
Hey, yo!
The sea is in my blood.
Your blood will be in the sea if I don't watch where I'm going.
That we're making king again. And me after him. You may get to stay in a castle tonight if you're lucky.
Stand offer from my future king.
An order from your future king.
Okay, maybe that's a little too much pressure. But in all seriousness, you really finna sit up here and tell me that this girl knows that this man is her sister and she literally says nothing about it. Even while he is caressing her this whole entire horse ride back to their home, she ain't saying shit to him. What the fuck? The thoughts that will go through one's mind after receiving this information, you might be scarred for life. And obviously, to add insult to injury, school wasn't a thing at the time, and education, the only education you could really have was through libraries, and the only way you could get access to that was if you had connections or you were just rich, bro. If you was born into poverty, you were illiterate like this motherfucker right here.
Road, fag, fuck me.
On the first nigga.
Excuse me?
Niggas.
And the side effects from all this illiterate ass shit is that you got motherfuckers talking to a fire, bro, thinking that they gonna see some magical ass shit.
There's a mountain. Looks like an arrowhead.
This motherfucker talk about seeing mountains and shit like, I see the trees and I see the forest and I see the land. Like, bro, I'm looking at fire right now and you're seeing all of this extravagant ass shit. Like, are you high? And you better pray that none of these people are your friends, because one day they can turn on your ass and decide we need to burn your body in the name of the fire of the Lord because he told us to do so. But I ain't even gonna lie, bro. If some badass fire witch lady told me, hey, I need you to have sex with me in the name of the fire lord, hey, shit, you ain't gotta tell me twice. But the crazy rituals just doesn't stop there. Oh yes, one of these crazy ass rituals is that you need to prove to these homeless looking motherfuckers that you can survive underwater for a certain period of time. And not just water, I'm talking the dirtiest water that you can possibly imagine. Do you understand how dumb and illiterate you have to be in the brain to baptize someone in dirty ass water and be like, you know what, let's see if he survives. And he survives, and then you decide, you know what, he is most definitely qualified to rule over us. But the craziness has not stopped there. No, we have just begun. So let's say you like to travel and it's the winter time. So you traveling in the winter, you traveling in the snow, doing your own little thing to your lonesome, bothering absolutely nobody. And out of nowhere, you see this motherfucker just popping out of nowhere with an army of dead people. Like, what the fuck? Just seeing that would just make me want to end it all. Because how are you able to raise people from the dead? Are you Blue Jesus? So then you fast travel across the world. Instead of dead people, you have, guess what? Fire-breathing dragons. Until you realize that in a couple of months, not years, but months, these little ass dragons go from this to this. Now at first glance, these dragons little as hell. They might shoot a little fire at you and it might kill you, but it ain't too bad. Bro, people in this era was really different, because there is no way that I'm finna go to war with a big ass dragon, let alone 3 of them. But if there's one thing that I fear more than fire breathing dragons and undead people trying to hunt me down and psychotic little kings making you their entertainment, it's gotta be torture. Now, if it was one thing people in this era knew how to do well, it was on how to torture a motherfucker. Back in the day, man, if you go into war with somebody and they don't kill you instantaneously, you don't already know in the back of your head, they gonna torture the hell out of you. And unfortunately for my boy Theon, this man got tortured in one of the worst ways I've ever seen in my life. He gets tied up, and so far nothing too crazy really happened, but he gets freed only to get back to where he started. And this is where shit just went AWOL. You see, it's one thing if you dealing with somebody who just want to get some information out of you. They ain't really trying to torture you too much. They just want to get what they want to know and just going on about their day. But this motherfucker right here, nah. He literally gets aroused, torturing you, causing you pain. It doesn't get more devious than that. If you dealing with someone like that, you might as well just kiss your soul goodbye. After puncturing this man's fingers and humiliating him and psychologically damaging him so bad that he's forced to call himself Reek, this man chops off his shit and literally eats it. Bro didn't even say pause or nothing. He just having a whole meat feast right now. And after doing all of this horrendous shit to him, he kicks it up 100 times more and forces this man to watch him have sex with a innocent girl. Like, with all the supernatural shit, the poverty, the incest, which, by the way, why was it allowed for this little ass boy to marry this grown woman and everyone is just applauding this? They just thinking this is a happy day. Like, what the fuck? God forbid I grew up in this era. Life wouldn't even be worth living. I would wake up sad as hell every single day, and probably by the age of 15 I would have Lannistered myself.